Hey, everybody. I'm David with the Hungry for a Day team, and I got my friend Larry Luke with me today. And we're going to get into what Larry's doing about. But what we're doing is a quick little project, and we're calling it Generosity in Action. And over the next few days, we're going to talk to some people that are friends of the Hungry for a Day community, some of our partners, and talk to them about what are you doing. We're going through some crazy times in our country with Corona. There's protests against racism. And people are saying like, hey, what can I do to live generously? So Larry's a good friend of mine. And Larry, you've done this print. Talk to me about this print.
Yeah, so this is an illustration of an Air Jordan 1, which is one of my favorite sneakers, and I think probably yours too, David. I think the sneaker community kind of reveres it as one of the classics. And I love sneakers and I love illustration, so I do a lot of sneaker adjacent art. And this was a piece that was just sitting on my computer for the last 3 years. And then my friend Brandon at Backside Press in Avondale, he hit me up and said, hey, do you have any art laying around? I'd be happy to screen print it and we'll sell it, and then we'll donate the proceeds to whatever charity or organizations you want. And I was like, oh, this is a great idea to finally do something with this art that's just been sitting on my computer. So I sent it over to him, and he printed a series of prints, and we sold out right away the first time, like in 4 hours. And we were able to donate a significant amount of money to Safe House Outreach here in Atlanta.
Great organization. We've done some work with them. I was probably 3 or 4 years ago, but we brought a crew down there and fed the homeless and that kind of thing. So a lot of our people know Safe House.
I think in many ways, a lot of their initiatives align with Hungry for a Day's initiatives. And that's when you reached out to me and said, hey, if you want to do something again with another charity, I got an idea for you, Hungry for a Day. And I was like, let's do it. Let's do it immediately. So initially, the plan was to launch this print, an alternate version of the same graphic, this week, this Monday, and then there were a lot of societal issues that were raised over the last few weeks about police violence and racial injustice, and a lot of protests have been happening, and these are things that are near and dear to my heart. Obviously, I don't understand exactly what it's like being Black and growing up here in America, but I'm Asian growing up in America, and I've dealt with my fair share of racism. So I have a lot of, like my heartstrings are constantly tugged for these minority communities. And I was thinking, well, I know I'm already donating money to Hungry for a Day, but let me just go ahead and take any of the proceeds that I would personally be making on this release and divide them equally between Hungry for a Day and Atlanta Solidarity Fund, just to help people that are maybe like wrongly arrested during these protests. And it's just my one way of giving back. I couldn't really think of any other way to use my voice, but this was a quick one right now. And I think moving forward, I want to make this a habit. I want to be more vocal and speak my mind on these issues. And like, it's like not okay to be silent anymore. And this was just an opportunity to kind of quickly raise some money for organizations doing good in Atlanta. And I'm just really happy to kind of be able to use my platform and do something so swiftly. Like,
no, that's awesome.
Thank goodness for the internet, right?
That's right, man. I mean, that's how we met, right? We met online, social media, and a lot of mutual friends. And me and Larry have a lot of mutual interests. Like, I love sneakers. Larry loves sneakers, right? I appreciate good design, and Larry's one of the best. And we've also connected over barbecue, right? We both love barbecue.
Well, you're one of the best barbecutioners in the Southeast.
I appreciate that, man. So yeah, and Hungry for a Day is about, when we started Hungry for a Day, the idea was like, how do we inspire generosity in people? And it's the stuff that, like, I don't even want the credit for it, right? Our team says, hey, this isn't about Hungry for a Day or putting our name on something. We're saying, how can we encourage people to live generously? And I love during this time, and that's what this whole generosity in action series is going to be about, is just telling the stories of people that'll say, hey, what can I do? And looking around and you see a need, and hey, whether it's, hey, I'm giving money, or I'm gonna, use my, like what you're doing, using your talents to help somebody else out. And I love that, man. And I appreciate that you chose Hungry for a Day. That means a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for saying that. And I initially had a lot of fears about like, is this my role to speak out? Is this my role to like participate in this? And you know, I think I made the right choice. Absolutely, it's my role. And I think if in me doing this, it inspired one more person within the sneaker community to go out and protest, or one more person within the sneaker community to bring a meal to medical professionals, um, or even donate, I think then that will have amplified the intention that I had. And or if it just inspired another Asian American to use their voice for good. I mean, I think oftentimes we're not necessarily a group that speaks on issues, at
Mm.
least not very loudly or in a timely way. So I think this is my lane now. This is what I have to do, and hopefully others will join me.
I had a friend reach out to me this week about starting a nonprofit, and completely different than Hungry for a Day. And he's actually going to be doing some things in the baseball community, and trying to help, inspire kids and character and those kinds of things. And he's using his gifts around baseball, right? And but it's, he's like, what advice do you have for me, man? And I said, what you're going to have to realize whenever you do anything in the nonprofit world or in the charity kind of space, there's going to be people that don't agree with you, and that's okay. And there's going to be people that you think like, why doesn't this person agree with what I'm doing? And that's okay. Like you and me, like I can just tell from our social media posts, we don't agree 100% on everything that we do, but that's okay. That means we can still be friends, and we can still say, hey, how can we work together to still do some good in the world?
Yeah, I think the idea is like we got to push the messages forward,
Yeah.
and we have to also be confident that our hearts are in the right place. And as long as like I know that I'm doing what is true to me, then it doesn't really matter if someone doesn't think I'm going about being a voice the right way. I I'm doing what I can to be the best ally to my community members in this
Good.
city, in this country, and you're doing the same. And I think that that's what I want to surround myself with more people like that.
That's so good, man. Well, man, we'll wrap this thing up. But man, thanks for coming on and hopping on our new this little series that we're doing, and it means a lot that you took some time to speak to the Hungry for Day people.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and thanks again for the opportunity just to help. Like I love to give, and I love to do things like that. I mean, getting a new pair of sneakers would be nice, but uh, giving a sneaker print away is even better. So that's
Well, and I'm gonna kind of tell on Larry here. We were texting last week about a pair of sneakers that was coming out, and I was like, "Hey, you getting these?" He's like, maybe after I drop these prints, I'll have a little extra money. I can justify buying this pair of shoes." And then when he texted me the other day, he said, "Hey, I'm giving away all my proceeds." So like, I know you're giving up, right? You're sacrificing something that
yeah,
you enjoy doing. You'd rather have a pair of sneakers, but you're like, "Hey, this is more important at this time."
yeah. That I mean, doesn't buying a new pair of sneakers feel so frivolous right now?
Yeah,
Like
you're right.
it's really just like that's not the point. And so I really hope that other people that are in the sneaker community, like we're so vocal about Air Jordans and every
Yeah,
drop and stuff like that, and
right.
that's cool and all, but why don't we be more passionate about like things that are going on in our communities?
Man, that's so true. I'm gonna try to put some pictures on screen here in just a second. Um, tell me about this print. I know you did a black print, 23, obviously for Michael Jordan's number, right? You did 23 of this print on black and 20 in blue.
Yeah,
Are there any left, or are they gone?
there's a few navy ones left, and but the black sold out
Okay,
within the hour. So
okay,
that was a really strong response from the community.
yeah,
I, I'm really blown away that like people I can't like for this to have just been an illustration sitting on my computer for 3 years, and to be using it now for good is like something I never would have dreamed of. But it's pretty cool.
yeah. Can you see this on the screen now?
Yeah.
So this is Larry holding up. This is the print with the black version of it, and
Hmm.
I'm gonna see. And I don't even know how to switch this off, so we'll just leave this here while we finish up. But this is the print. It's available in a black background. The black is sold out. There's some with the same print but a navy background, right?
Yeah, and the navy one looks really good. And
We'll put a link to this for people if you want to pick this up. Not only are you supporting Hungry for Day, you're supporting some other great organizations. And man, Larry, just thanks for inspiring us and generosity, man. I love this.
oh man, you guys inspire me. I'm just participating when I can. Thank you so much.